All right, sent out. Yo, what is up, guys? It's just Cause and K Harvick fan. We back at it again here with a little on the high side racing league, and tonight should be a fun one here. Starting out the first race of the playoffs here tonight at Chicagoland. Should be a fun one. Chicagoland has always been the track for high side, which has had some entertaining finishes the last couple races and seasons. So should be fun here tonight. Should be a fresh start to the playoffs as well here tonight. So here we go. As tonight, I'm looking at Twitch. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. So we're currently waiting for the lab. Can we take that invite that you sent like a minute ago? Okay. Well, as we are loading in here tonight at Chicagoland after a thrilling finish at Daytona. So this should be an interesting one here tonight, folks. As now we're heading into the race now. It looks like 15 cars here tonight. So it should be a fun one. K Harvick fan should join the studio here shortly for his expertise. K Harvick fan's new nickname is going to be Dollar Tree Larry McReynolds, because that's what he feels like in the booth, is a Dollar Tree Larry McReynolds. All we need is a meme now. Can we get a picture of Harvick and plaster it on Larry McReynolds doing the cheese grater on the tire meme? Like, if we can have that, that would be the best thing ever, you know. And what's up, Rock? Got Rock in chat already. What is up, Rock NASCAR? Here tonight, we are about to start the first playoff race here at Chicagoland. Here we go. We're loaded in. We're about to head the first race here. Should be going green at any moment here tonight. It's going to be fun. Here we go. Here we go. Heading to the line. B13 on the inside. Camo pair on the outside. Here we go. Green flag for the first race of the playoffs here for the high side. Green flag. Heading into turn number 1. 6 car on the bottom. 2 car on the top. 6 is easily going to clear to 2. Here comes the 18. Ice in my veins on the vinyl. With the 22 of Taz there as well, fall in line. Here we go, down the back straightaway they go. 6 car, 18, 22. 22 is going to go to the inside of the 18 here. Battle for P2 behind the leader. Through 3 and 4, 6 sliding up the racetrack just a little bit. Coming out of turn number 4. Who's going to lead lap number 1 of the playoffs? It's going to be B13, as he's going to lead the first lap of the playoffs underway. Here we go. Oh, 22 off the racetrack just a little bit here, as the 22 is still battling with the 18 for the P2 spot. And then you got the 41 there. A man like Mel going up through the field a little bit here. Doing it well. I wasn't told the playoff drivers before the race. I know the 6 and the 24 and the 8 are confirmed in. I didn't get the playoff information, so we're going to go by ear. Hold on. Okay, now you gotta have me eliminating people. Okay, so we're just gonna say that. Okay, so up front though, the 6 is up front. Is Harvick in the booth yet?
Yeah, I'm good now. I'm good. Sorry, it took me forever to find it.
Okay, we're hearing he's now in the booth. Is K Harvick fan, we just started here an entertaining race at Chicagoland like usual for the last couple of seasons. So tell us, what is the most important factor here at Chicagoland to get these people around the track faster?
Don't get off the bottom. That's the best thing you can do here is don't leave that white line around the bottom of the racetrack. If you get up off the bottom, the way draft is here, and we don't have high draft, it's a lot more relevant on high draft, but even on normal, if you slide up off that bottom, you can run the higher 2.5 lanes here without any handling issues. That's fine. What you will run into, unfortunately, is you're not quite as fast up there. This isn't like some of the mile and a half where you can carry momentum up around the high side or something. You don't really get that here. It's kind of one of those things where you get knocked up off the bottom. You might be able to fight a little bit side draft, things like that. But other than that, you're kind of just along for the ride. This is a very one-lane racetrack, in my opinion. You can make two wide work here. It's not impossible, but I would say this is definitely more of a one-lane dominant racetrack than it is multi-groove. The one unique thing about this racetrack, however, and you don't really notice it until you're driving. Like from a track map standpoint, if you just look at the map of the racetrack, you don't hardly notice it. But there's a slight curve in the back straightaway, and it kind of makes your turn 3 entry just a little bit different. And you kind of have to plan for that to make sure you get the corner entry down and you get to the bottom in the white line at the right time. Sometimes if you don't pay attention to that and you don't kind of turn with the back straightaway, you can a lot of times turn in too late and get to the bottom too late into the corner. You won't really push from it, but you could leave yourself a gap to get past or knocked up out of the way.
Yeah, as right now we're experiencing audio issues with Hardwick fans. Mic is crackling very badly right now, so I'm hoping that the tech guys get on that real quick, fix that. So we're apologize for that tonight as well to start off. But the 6 is up front, 24 in second, 14 in third. Good lineup so far. 6 cars so far up front. Was on pole, and it has been very fast here at Chicagoland. Tonight should be fun. Let's keep an eye out on that 88 though. 31 to go in the stage. As here we go, 24 looking to the outside. That's for the lead. Oh, now he got to the inside. 6 is going to wash up. Side by side for the lead. 2 playoff contenders. Through 3 and 4. 24's got that bottom, but can the 6 hang on to the top? Out of turn number 4. Oh, 6 is holding on very well to the top right now, but what will the 14 do? 24 is still on that inside of the 6. Here comes the 2 on the outside to the 14. Yeah, it seems like that outside can hang on, and like in the first part, the 24 is going to clear. New leader here at Chicagoland. But yeah, that was interesting right there. The 6 car could hold on to the outside about entry, but as soon as the middle comes in, it looks like the 6 car just game over there, Harvick.
No, absolutely. Again, the one thing with the outside here is, like I said, you can hang on up there with the side draft, but there comes a point where the shorter distance around the racetrack and the fact that there's not really a bunch of off throttle time here anyway to help with anything of that sort. You end up with a situation where, like I said, the bottom line is just so much more dominant than the high side. You can hang on, but you can't really pass unless something happens or people check up, that type of thing. It's not a situation where you want to be on that middle or definitely not the high side.
Yes, right now we are currently looking at the leader here, the 24 high side Hobie. He is looking pretty strong right now up front. Past that 6, the 14's trying to follow suit here. That's Noggin Jr. in the 14, really trying to follow suit right now, trying to get that second spot away from the 6. And then, you kind of got this 5-car bunch right now. I'm not going to be a little bit, but they got this 5-car bunch right now. And you know what? He's trying to use that high side. It's a pretty good battle, but, he's going to tuck in the 3rd right now. That middle lane can possibly be the factor if you can make it work, but right now the bottom is just the dominant line, and the 24's got the lead right now, Harvick.
Indeed, and he's somebody again that kind of seems to either he gets, and he does have a win this season, but he's somebody who always seems to be up and in contention for wins. He has speed, but he can't ever seem to close the deal, or at least most of the time, whether it be a mistake he makes, something he gets caught in, or in the case of Daytona, he just barely falls short. So he's had an interesting regular season. He's had ups and downs, but he's shown a lot of speed. I expect that 24, if he can get, I guess the way to word it would be, if he can close out the races that he starts. He starts off so well, but he can never close them out. If he can close these things out, he will be a threat for the championship, and I think he'd be a very strong one. And again, some of these mile and a halves, I go back to Texas earlier in the season. He ran extremely well, and I know that a little bit different type of track, but same sort of speed at the car ratio, I guess you could call it. You're very fast at Texas, and you're very fast here. He had so much speed there, but he got himself caught up in a couple of incidents, got caught up in a wreck as well after putting himself back in traffic, and he just never really recovered. But he showed a lot of speed, and it's things like that. If he can really close this out, and it starts tonight, again, we're in the playoffs now. Mistakes hurt a lot more during the playoffs than they did in the regular season. He's going to have to close these things out. He's going to have to learn from the mistakes that were made in the regular season and try to bring this home. It's going to be a tall task, but the other thing too, Alex, you got to keep in mind, we only get about 20 laps on the fuel tank. Pit stops. They're going to be nearing pretty soon. The fuel window is actually going to be opening here probably 3 or 4 laps.
Because right now we just hit 24 to go in stage number 1. The 2 just got to the contact for the lead between the 24 and the 2. Here comes the 18. Will the 18 make a move here for the lead? Here we go, side by side for the lead, still between the 2 and 24. 18 trying to use that high side a little bit, out of turn number 4, down through the tri-oval. 2 trying to take it away. Oh, what can the 2 do? 2's on that bottom. 24. Oh, 2 slides up. Oh, what a save. They somehow didn't wreck. They're still making contact. 18 saves it. 41 saves it. But now the 14 is going to go to the bottom here. Oh, and he's going to take the lead. New leader at Chicago, 14 at Noggin Jr.
Now 14, I would assume he's one of the playoff guys, but wait, no, yeah, he's got to be. So the 14 is somebody as well who has done a little bit better job of being around at the end of the races, but maybe doesn't quite have the win total that he could. He's somebody else that during the regular season showed tons of speed. One place I think that kind of points out to me would be maybe a Kentucky. But we've seen him have speed at different types of racetracks as well. We look at Phoenix, who's very quick there. So it's, again, somebody who looks like he could be a huge threat for this championship. And also, I'm going to bring this back up. We haven't talked about it, and maybe it's simmered down. It seems to have, but I'm just going to bring it up just in case. And maybe it hasn't. I don't know it. Just keep in mind that back at, I think it was, whatever was before Kentucky. I'm trying to remember what race. Oh, Auto Club. The 14, as the pits get busy, but the 14 and the 24 got into one another coming off of turn 4, coming to the white flag, and the 24 wasn't very happy. I don't know if that will come into play during these playoffs or not, but we'll have to wait and see. But Alex, pit window has opened, and a lot of guys have jumped on that train very quick.
They have, as the 14's pitting this time. He's signaling down pit road here. As they're coming on pit road now, they have to use the apron. We're hearing that they're going to be good here. So right now, the pit road entry, it's pretty different. You have to use the apron throughout the whole turn in 3 and 4, and then come out using the whole apron to the back straightaway. So, you're going to have a good entry here. Chicagoland, we've had moments where cars have had incredible spins trying to enter pit road that way, and some of the most famous, the leaders wrecked here before, so Harvick, tell us how interesting that factor is going to play in, having to use the whole apron on entry and on exit.
Well, to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised by that. This isn't one of the racetracks where I would say that's a thing that's necessary per se. Obviously, this is one of the more narrow pit entries, so obviously guys coming off of turn 4 can get a little bit sketchy, but I don't know, because of how narrow the apron is here. It's not like a Charlotte or a Texas or something like that where it's a wide apron all the way around the corner. It's not. This is a very narrow apron, and to be honest, it costs you so much time, and again, to me, it seems a little bit unnecessary. It seems like a little bit much to take the apron on entry here. But regardless of that, like you said, you can make up or lose a lot of time on entry to the pits here by running that apron. It's going to be a thing now, especially on worn out tires, of how fast can you take that apron without coming up onto the backing. That's another thing too. You get just a little bit too ambitious with what you're doing down on the apron going in, and you push the car a little bit too much, you're probably going to push the nose a little bit because it's completely flat down there for the most part. You don't have banking to lean on, so the car not going to be quite as easy to drive in that situation. Again, countering the older tires as well. You're probably going to lose the nose and hit that embankment, which could cause extra problematic situations. So the big thing is going to be keeping the car under you, trying to get all you can while coming into the pits without overstepping those boundaries. And that's a very, very fine line that you have to walk. But those that can walk it the best and closest to the edge without going over will definitely succeed. And that's the same for coming out of the pits. Obviously coming out a little bit easier because you're coming up to speed.
Yes, right now I think the leader is the 41 here of Man Like Milk, as he did pit very early. So he's currently out front, took the short pit route and gained a huge gap on the 6. But the question is, Harvick, did he pit too early to set up his big gap, and will he make it the rest of the way?
I don't know exactly how early he pitted. Unfortunately, I didn't quite see when he went down pit road compared to everyone else. Again, I can tell you, you get 20 laps on fuel. I can tell you that the guys when I saw the first big wave of cars head into the pits, it was maybe 18 or 19 to go, I would say, somewhere in that area. Maybe it was 20 exactly. I don't know what the exact number was, but it was pretty close to where that fuel window opened. So wasn't a whole lot of wiggle room there. Alex, that's on you. Just saying. But when we break this down and look at it this way, fuel mileage could potentially be a concern. Now, obviously, time-wise for the 41, huge props. He gained a ton of time, gained a lot of track position because of the fresh tires. Again, you talk about the short pit, but I think we do have to wonder about the fuel mileage for him. Is it going to be too short? Will he have to save? Will he have enough? That's a question I think he probably only has the answer to.
Yeah, is right now. This 41's got a big gap, but the 6 is kind of reeling him in on some of those fresh tires. So it should be interesting to see. Interesting stage finish. The 14 just passed the 6 as well. So this is going to be still interesting how the strategy is going to play out. Here, Harvick.
Okay, sorry. Hang on, I'm reading what you said now. I didn't realize I didn't read it at first. But okay, sorry. No, what were you saying, Alex? I got distracted. That's my fault.
I was about to say, even though he's got the fresher tires, the 14.6 are still reeling him in right now. And I was going to ask you, the short pit, the short pit, you are very vocal about the short pit, saying that, it can work and it's very good, and it's very good use as well. So as we got 10 to go in the stage and the 14.6 are running them down, what do you think's the plan for the 41 here, that short pit strategy versus the 14.6 on a little bit of a longer haul?
Well, I think we have to add in as well, again, the fact of the 41, again, still potentially may have to save a little bit of fuel. Again, we don't know for sure. We know it's close. I think we had to put that in perspective as well. But as far as, these guys, coming in later and then trying to do this, it's an interesting play. To be honest, I don't know how it'll work. I think it a lot depends on the 41 and what he's going to have to do here with the fuel that he has and that type of thing. But I will say this, running the long haul is not, I don't know, at a place like Chicago, it doesn't absolutely destroy tires like some other places like, say, an Atlanta or a Phoenix would, but it eats the tires up enough to where you do lose quite a bit of lap time over the course of a run, and the longer you stay out on these old tires, the longer you're gonna you're going to lose more time. Every lap that you stay out is, I mean, potential seconds, depending. I don't know exactly what the fall off is, but I mean, I'd say it'd probably be somewhere around a second on compared to fresh to old tires. Eventually, that does level off once those guys kind of wear the new off those tires, but still, they're faster, and you're losing time the longer you stay out. The one thing they're going to have in their pocket is when they do decide to pit and they come out, one of two things will happen. Either they're going to take either no fuel or just two tires, or sorry, no tires and just fuel, or two tires, which it could work. Obviously, to have some fresh tire on a car, but it may also mess with the balance of the race car quite a bit, which isn't good. It also may not. Is again, that's kind of a driver thing, depending on how you have your car set up, as well as what track you're at. The other thing is, if they go in and put four tires on, they're going to be way faster for a while. The question is, Alex, would they have enough time to run back down the gap that they lost? And I think the answer, as long as they've stayed out, would be no.
Well, right now the 41 just lost the lead to the 14, fell back to third place, lost second to the 6. So 5 to go in stage number 1, no cautions from here on out. 14 up front, the 6 in second. They're trying to run down and have this battle. 24 is playing limbo on the back straightaway right there. See how low he can go on the bottom. But that 14 up front, he looks like he has one of the faster cars. 6 started on pole. He's up front currently. 41 possibly playing the strategy right now as we just hit 4 to go here in stage number 1. So, playoff points, playoff positions on the line right here to see who's going to make that championship. So let's see what happens as they go down the back straightaway here through 3 and 4 and coming to 3 to go in stage number 1 here, Kevin.
Oh, excuse me. No, I think this is tough.
Everything okay?
Uh-oh. Hold on. Uh-oh.
Okay, hold on. Harvick's having issues, so I'll just take it over here. I think we're going to come to 2 to go here. 2 or 1 to go? Let's 2 to go. 2 to go here in stage number 1. The 6 is trying to run down this 14 here. But right now it's looking like a pretty good shake-up for this 14. He has a couple wins on the season right now. Running pretty good. The 6 car also has a bunch of wins this season as well. So they're trying to make a good run here to start their playoff run. Hopefully they go in deeper in these playoffs than they hope. So, 6 car, champion of the series. Didn't win the championship last season, won the championship 2 seasons ago. Trying to see if he can get a second one. It's the 14. It's just crossed the line for 1 to go here in stage number 1. He's out front. He's so far passed on the 24 after a mistake between him and the 6. Helped him get to the front. And now he's going to go ahead through 3 and 4. He's going to go ahead out of turn number 4. Stage 1 winner at Chicagoland, the 14 at Noggin Jr. He's going to get some playoff points here today and get a bunch of points to get that Stage 1 victory. Stage 1 winner, the 14 of Noggin Jr.
Absolutely. I'm back now.
We're going to try and fix our audio issue, so I'm going to leave the party and join right back. Fix that audio issue, so somebody send me a party invite. Okay. By the way, while we are here, go get your Ray's energy drink. Ray's great energy drink. They have a bunch of flavors. Galaxy Blast is my favorite flavor right now. So go ahead, get your Rise energy drink. Use code ALOHSRL. Saves you 15% off any order. They also have powders and everything. They have powdered drinks on there as well. So go use our code there. Save you 15% off your
I'm good now.
So. But a good stage end right there is we're going to put that right into the chat. Here we go. We're coming to the green here. 14 on the inside, 6 on the outside. Green flag back in the air. 37 laps here in stage number 2. 14 gun on the bottom, but here comes the 41 on the bottom.
Sounds like
as well
it's good,
as the
Alex.
88. Here we go. Down the back. Oh, contact. 41
Oh, boy.
to 6. 3 wide for second place
This
down
is
the back
sketchy.
straightaway. Oh, let's see. Any survivor's going to come out of this one. They're still 3 wide. They're going to be 3 wide still as the 2's looking to the inside. Oh, now they're going to go back to 2 as the 14 has led that lap. First lap of stage number 2. As here we go. Still side by side for second. 41's going to hit the 6 off the racetrack. And now the 88 as we're 3 wide again for third. 3 wide. 24, 41, 6. It looks like everybody's trying to make the money moves to get to the front here, Kevin.
Actually, I think somebody really felt a little bit on the restart there after all that was said and done was that 6 car, not extremely far, but he did slip just a little bit compared to where he was, so let's see if he can recover that or not. These guys will begin to spread out now as they slowly start to migrate single file towards the inside lane of this racetrack, but the one thing is for certain is, again, we will have the pit stops. We saw, what worked the last stage, what, maybe did in a way, but didn't at the same time. So I think the one thing that'll be fun to keep track of this time around will be what did those guys learn from, both watching their own strategies play out as well as, other people's strategies play out during stage 1 as the 6 makes a little bit of contact.
Oh, they're all going to keep it straight here. Also, another big player at the front currently, the 88 of Just to My Fist. He's been the big dog lately here at Chicagoland. He's won a bunch of races here over the last couple of seasons, and he's currently up front. 24 just pounded the wall right there off corner exit, but that 88, he's been fast a mile and a half. He's shown it lately. Beginning of the season, it looked like he struggled a little bit, but now he is showing his speed now here in the playoffs.
Absolutely, and he's coming off some momentum earlier in the week too. Of course, regular season finale was on Tuesday under the lights at Daytona, and of course he just barely won that race. So you mentioned that he's got a little bit of momentum. Of course, again, Daytona is kind of one of those races where it's a wild card. Anybody can win, but it still does take a certain level of skill and patience. And actually, I would say patience especially is something at Daytona that is extremely important from a driver's standpoint. You have to wait until it's the right time. You can't just take every little bit of run you have, every little hole you see. You can't just fill it. You have to wait until the right moments to take those runs. And I think the guys that you see win those races have probably the best patience and the best thought processes, usually, of guys in the field. And again, just as somebody who always seems to be patient to me, he always seems to drive smart, not in over his head. He's just calm, and he shows up when it matters. I would agree. Definitely not been the season that we're used to seeing out of him, but it hasn't been a bad season by any stretch of the imagination. For most drivers, this would be a very good season. He's got multiple wins on the season. I think 2 or 3 at least, and is sitting very solid in points coming in here. So it's not a bad season, but it's not what we're used to seeing out of that 88 car either. We'll have to see, and I'm very interested to see if he can find his old stomping grounds, and that being finding victory lane a lot more during these playoffs.
Oh, we got a couple cars wrecking over here. We got the 8 car in the grass. He saved it. He's mowing the grass as the 8, a Hunter boy. And then we got another car very slow. Oh, 24 around. Oh, no, he saved it. Oh, and the 48's going to ram him. 48's going to go around. Is he? Oh, he spun it. Well, we're hearing caution at the line here. First manual, the 48 just spun around there. A bunch of calamity there just in one lap. We saw I think it was the 17-8 get loose, wrecking the turn 1, and the 8 car saved it, and the 17 saved it. 24 wrecked and saved it, and then the 48, the third time is not a charm, spun it there, kind of rammed into the rear end of the 24, so I think the 6 car won the race back to the line. So 6 is going to be the leader. And look who's up front here in stage number 2, the 51 of Horatio. Him and Ralph got that car hooked up, Kevin.
Indeed they do. I want to go back to this. I know, and I couldn't really see what happened in the first incident. The camera I had, it was nowhere on my screen. The second one, though, I just barely saw what happened, and I don't have the full context of it because it was pretty quick. It seemed like something happened, and it may have very well been the legendary bubble situation within the game. Something happened between the 88 and 24 where they maybe made just a little bit of contact, but it was at a point on the 24's car where it just kind of got him a little bit squirrely, and of course you saw the results, but I think that's kind of where all that ignited, was just a little bit of contact between those guys, and of course the 24 got the worst of that. Well, actually the 48 got the worst of that, but 24 didn't walk away with an unscathed car either, so we'll have to see what happens. Tough breaks. As far as the other incident, I have no idea what happened, but I'll tell you what, though, what I did notice out of that whole thing was a lot of great saves. The 24 with a huge save, the 8 with a huge save as well, back there. Yeah, I know you were talking about it, Alex, so pretty fun. Fun for us, I guess. I don't know if it's fun for them, but a whole lot happening, and again, you get that when you get these guys drafting like they are and trying to side draft so much. Sometimes those things happen.
Well, as we're on pit road, the race off pit road here, can 88 beat the 6 out of pit road? No. As the 6 car is going to win the race off pit road. We're suspecting the 24 probably sped because we just heard, or lost a bunch of spots because, you know, the
crash.
Oh, well, he was referencing the crash over the radio. But, yeah, right now, Choose Cone, by the way, here.
It has returned.
You know, the Choose Cone has returned and is now haunting Chicagoland here. You know, they're going to select their lanes here. Oh, 88's going to follow the 6 on the bottom. So the 14 and 51 are going to go to the top here. So, interesting moves being made here on this Choose Cone here, Kevin, as we're going to go green this time.
I like this move by the 88. He's a playoff guy, and the 14 is as well. Horatio, not so much. He can kind of go wherever he wants. He's here for a win. 88, though, he needs the points. And again, obviously, we have quite a ways to go on the stage still. But being on that line with the 6 prevents him, again, on the outside. It doesn't seem to launch as well, and eventually you lose ground unless you happen to find a hole. Well, 88 being behind the 6, yes, he restarts 3rd instead of 2nd. But he'll probably actually cycle to 2nd after turns 1 and 2 when the bottom surges forward. But speaking of which, of a surge, the one for the green flag has happened.
Yes, here we go ahead and turn number 1. 14's going to go to the bottom here. He will go to 2nd place still through 1 and 2. Out of turn number 2, 6 car still holding on to the lead. It's currently single file. 88 in 3rd place still. 2 car gained a couple spots. 51 is in 5th. Through 3 and 4. Let's see what the moves can be made. 14 kind of backing off. 6 car getting tied off exit. 14 looking to the outside. Here we go. Battle for 2nd. 88, 14. 14 got stuck on that outside. 88 on the inside. 88. What can the 88 do? He's got the draft of the 6. Down the back straightaway out of turn number 2. 6 car working the draft. 88. Oh, 2 of the 14 made contact. Here we go through 3.
Oh,
4,
here goes 88.
To the bottom. To the bottom. Oh, he hit the apron just a little bit. 6 is still going to keep the lead on the outside. Here, Kevin.
Side by side 6. Oh, wow. So, with that move, I tell you what, I think this 88 might have, it took him a little bit to get up here. I think he might have missed qualifying. I'm not 100% sure. He had to start a little bit further back in the field. But he's found his old home. I guess, he's been there fairly recently. Again, was in Victory Lane on Tuesday, but seems to have found that old spark from last season that he had at these speedways, and it's working for him now.
As he's going into turn 1, looking for the lead. Oh, but he slid up the racetrack just a little bit. It's not going to work, or maybe it will. He's still at the quarter panel. The 6 is there side by side down the back straightaway. In the 3 and 4, here comes the 51 to 3rd place of Horatio. Here we go through 3 and 4. It's still side by side. It's still anybody's taken. Oh, 51's going to have a huge run here, maybe. What is he going to do with it? Oh, he's going to tuck behind the 88 here. Good, smart move by the 51. 6 sends it in on the outside. 88 trying to chug along on the inside. 6 with a run out of turn number 2. 88 still not clear. Here we go. Now he's clear. 88 back to the lead here at Chicago. All right.
And again, this is what I talked about with this middle line. You can hang on really well up here. The side draft, it does work pretty well. You saw how effective it was. All that the 6 was doing right there, that was all side drafting the 88. It kept pulling him back. Just to the point where he couldn't get clear, and actually it would give him what seemed like a run. What really was happening was it was pulling the 88 back off the corner. He kind of slowed his momentum down on the bottom off the corner enough to where he was slipping backwards, and sorry, I got a notification that distracted me. But no, the 88 got slowed down and off the corner to where he couldn't really pull and clear, and that's why it took him so long to clear the 6. But again, you saw the 6 at the same time wasn't really able to make any progress in that middle line, and in fact, he's actually slipped back a little bit since.
Yeah, is that, yeah, him joining the party just made the audio worse. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, 88 currently up front at the 51 there in second. And then Ford Tough in the 17 and third. So we got a pretty good, interesting top 3. We got a couple non-playoff drivers in that top 3. But right now, that 88 chugging along there in P1, trying to hold off, get some stage points here, get a stage win. More importantly, get some more playoff points. Here we go. 24 is looking to the inside of the 17. That's going to be the battle for third place. Oh, 17 hard in the wall. He pancaked that wall. Yeah, he pancaked the wall. Right now, looks like we got a top 3 chugging along. 51's going to slide up here. That could be an opportunity for the 24 down the back straightaway. 88 working both lanes. That is interesting, working both lanes like a restrictor plate as they're going through 3 and 4. 51's going to fall to third place, as now we got a second pack coming into the mix here, Kevin.
And again, and the 6 is actually involved in that. Again, I talked about he's slipped back since he was racing up there for the lead. He's not up with this lead pack as well. Now, they've kind of closed back, but he had slipped back a little ways, and he's trying to pull the second pack back up here, the 6 car, that is. And they're doing a good job. I don't know if maybe it's just because of the sole fact they seem to have more cars. So here goes the 6 to the bottom, and over to check up off the corner.
By the way, 14 went down pit road, so some pit strategy going on. 14 just head down pit road. 88 up front, 24 in second. The 6 is in third. 6V13 looking to make his way up to the front as well in that third position. And Camo Parrot in the 2, running pretty good with 17 Ford Tough there in 5th. So that is your top 5 as Ford Tough made that move on the 2 of Camo. That's the battle for 4th. It's down the front straightaway. 24 clipped a little bit of that grass right there. Oh, contact for second.
Oh, boy.
Oh, 24 and 6. They're getting dicey up there for that second spot. Out of turn number 2. Let's see. 24 is going to get that spot still. 17, as we're getting 14 at the line.
Well, remember, the pit window.
The 14 pitted, by the way. He just pitted last lap. And I don't know where everybody else is. Is this a move by the 14 that shocks you? And is this going to give him a big advantage here?
I think it's
pit cycle.
I think it's going to give him a very big advantage. You have to keep in mind, we did have that caution early. It's the only one of the night. But it did not take out the pit stop. These guys are still going to have to pit. I just heard when we were at 14 ago, these guys had about 8 laps, a few left. Ideally, these guys can go till about 6 laps to go on the stage. Now, there's some pros and cons to this, but here's what the 14 is going to have to his advantage if he took 4 tires, or even just 2. That tire gain, that time that he's going to gain on those tires is going to play big dividends for him. Add in the fact as well, he probably did not have to take as much fuel just topping the car off. That was going to save him time on pit road. I expect the 14 could be very good at the end of this thing. We'll have to see. That's 3 wide. This is interesting.
Yeah, it's right now the 88. Oh, 88 slides up into the wall. Oh, he kissed it. I guess he kissed it. He kissed it like a first prom date right there. As they're heading into turn number 1. 17 on the bottom, trying to get that second. Well, he's in that second spot, as I think cars have came down. 2 cars in the pit road, by the way. Let's see who's going to pit this time. Nobody in the top 6 this time comes down. They're going to stay out one more lap. Or even more, maybe. This is going to be interesting, because that advantage by the 14 is getting bigger and bigger every lap they stay out right now. Because right now they are running. By the way, just a reference, 14 when he pitted was at the end of this pack, probably about 8th or 9th. So let's see where he cycles out and how much of an advantage that's going to give him.
Now, the one disadvantage that the 14 does have at the moment is the fact that all this pack, while they're racing each other pretty hard, they're still together in draft. So if you add in that, it might help these guys out. The fact that they're all drafting, that's going to make them faster on the racetrack compared to the 14 who's by himself. That might hurt his advantage a little bit, but again, these guys are going to have to pit. He won't have to pit anymore, and you have as well the fact of, again, the tires. Now, the one question I also have for anybody that pits out of this league pack is, obviously you're not going to have to fill the car all the way up, but also, how many tires do you take? Because I think with that low amount of laps left in the stage, I don't think you take all 4 tires. I think maybe 2, depending on how much fuel you had to put in the car, maybe none.
Well, the 88 just came in, so it looks like the 17 and the 6 are also coming in this time. Maybe the 24. 24 is going to stay out a lap, but the 6 and 17 coming in. Oh, is this?
Oh!
Yeah, that's the part of pit entry here at Chicago that has been so famous and difficult. Carrying way too many high speeds, entering the apron, you can come up on the racetrack and cause a caution. That's what almost just happened, Kevin.
Indeed, and that's another reason why I think running the apron is a little bit unnecessary. I think these guys are probably perfectly capable of pitting off the 4, and to me, I think, again, what you just saw right there, look, that's very easy to do here. You want to carry a lot of speed on there. You're on old tires. If you're pitting in a pack like that, that makes things even more challenging. Add in the fact as well, that apron in 3 and 4 is extremely narrow. It's not a wide apron. Again, compare it to a Charlotte or a Texas. You have room there. That's a little bit more easy to do. Not here. It's a very narrow apron. You don't have a lot of room to give, and you're trying to push the car for everything it's got on a very, very thin line of space. It's honestly probably more risky trying to run these guys down through the apron, in my opinion, than what it is just pitting off of turn 4 like you typically would. So that's just my take, and I think, you saw what could have and what almost did happen there going into the pits. So good job by those guys to keep it going and save that from being a much larger incident, but still, I think that's something that maybe could be looked at for future races here.
Now, we're going to stay on board here with the 24 for a little bit, because I want to show y'all the difference between how he pitted and when he pitted to the 14. You can see 24 is in. He's in his pit stall right now. We're going to go back on that reverse chase cam. He's coming out now. Let's see where the 14 is coming. 14, I think, is about to cross the line, or he just did. Let's see. See through 1 and 2. Where's the 14? 14 nowhere in sight. Oddly, 17 came out, 11 came out, 2 came out. Did the 14 have issues, or was there just a 2-tire stop that just took place?
I have a feeling it might be 2 tires. So, again, I talked about it. That late in the stage pitting, I don't think you put all the tires on the car, and I definitely think that's what the 24 did. He actually gained quite a bit there. So, we'll have to see what happened. 5 laps to go in stage 2 at Chicagoland.
Yeah, 5 to go. No more cautions. I'm just gonna guess, but it's either the 11's up front, the 2's is the leader. Oh, the 11 is the leader. The 11 of RTSB Killer. And the 11 is up front and in the lead. Interesting. We usually don't see him as... Oh, the 17! 17 mowing the lawn. Oh,
that Ford is not having a good day.
Yeah, that Ford's not having a good day, but battle for the lead. 2 in the 11, side by side, contact. We're going to be coming to 3 to go this time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't even get my answer.
I would assume.
Here we go. 3 to go here in stage number 2 as the 2 of Camo Parrot just took the lead. What can the 11 do? What can the 24 do? 24 looking to get some room. Where will he go? He's searching around the racetrack. Out of turn number 2. Oh, the 11. I don't know if the 11 threw a block or got loose right there, but... Oh boy, that almost ended badly. Oh, little side draft, middle of the corner from the 11. But the 24 is still going to take it. 2 to go in stage number 2.
Does the 24 have enough to get to this 2 car?
Well, I'm trying to get to the 2 car here so we can get a good vantage point of the battle. But, you know, he's running the bottom. If I'm the 2, I'm breaking the draft right here. You know, look, well, yeah, that's what he's doing. He's breaking the draft. He's going low. He's going high. Through 3 and 4. Oh, 24 sends it in. Gives him a bumper. Oh, but he's still there. Oh, he's sliding up, though. 88's coming to the picture. Here we go. 1 to go in stage number 2. What will the 24 do? What will the 88 do?
I think the 24 made a mistake there. I think if it's me in that situation, I just pull up to the 2's bumper draft and try to make that pass 1 into 1. Doing that there, I think cost them both a lot of time.
Threw down the back straightaway. Through 3 and 4. 2 car, Camo Parrot. As the 88's going to try and get second place here. 24 pounds the wall once again. But the 2 of Camo Parrot, stage 2 winner here in Chicago. Oh, we got a crash after the line. It's the 14.
Tough break there. No, I again... And I hate to pick on the poor guy because he's done a good job, but this is some of the oh wow, they're still crashing. This is some of the things that I'm talking about. It's these small aggressive moves towards the end of things, maybe that could take a little bit more patience and be made a little bit more clean. He tried to go past the 2. Look, all fine and good, except I think he probably could have gotten away with, again, like I said, maybe drafting the 2 through 3 or 4. Getting a run and pulling out, going down into turn 1, and maybe sticking the nose underneath. Obviously, when you see a gap there, you kind of want to take it, but what that ended up costing the 24 there is not only time, and he ended up getting passed by the 88, I think, or it was very close. He also gave himself some nose damage that had to be repaired under this caution. So, again, I talk about trying to finish things off. These are the things that the 24 is going to have to iron out when he's running these races during the playoffs if he wants to win the championship. Alex, stage 3 is underway. 52 laps to go. Alex?
Oh, sorry. I was having audio issues. 88 doing the inside, 2 car on the outside here, going into 3 and 4. What will the 88 do? What will the 2 do? 2 trying to side draft, but the 88's going to launch to the lead. 88 to the front. 2 is going to get split 3 wide. Oh boy, 3. Oh! Ooh. Oh, 14 in the wall. 24 in the wall. Oh, they're having a struggle right now. So they're going to go down the back straightaway into 3 and 4 real quick. It's going to be interesting here. It's the 24 up front, 17 up front, 2 up front. It looks like an interesting battle. But right now it's the 11 of RTSB Killer in second, hounding the 88 of Just to My Fist through 1 and 2. They're having this interesting cascade of a battle right now. Up front and in the lead right now is that 11 cars looking tip-top shape right now. You also have the 88 of Just and the 6 of B13 up front, and that's your top 3 right now. As I'm surprised the 11, usually seeing 11 back in the pack doesn't have that much speed, but the 11 is showing out today here, Kevin.
Absolutely. I was trying to catch what you said there. I was trying to put audio back in. But, now again, we get into this run, and there's, caution out. This is going to change things. I believe when we get this caution, it will be 46 or 47 laps to go at start finish. And while we're under caution, I'll do some math. I believe it's going to be a 2-stop race from here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here as we're racing around right now. We're hearing strike on 22, so I guess the 22 was the one who caused it. But right now, it's going to be very interesting right now. This is the 11 lost third. I forget how much they get on fuel. I think it's around 20. 24. 20. Yeah, oh, God, the 41 had an interesting strategy there. But that's first stage. So he pitted with lap 24 or 24 to go in that stage, and still made it all the way. So that's pretty interesting. But that 88, the 6, the 11, the 24, right now battling up front. Oh, we might have 3 wide.
Oh, contact!
Oh, I don't know when we're getting this caution here. We're hearing. Oh, there it is.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, they're gonna have the caution here now. So first
and a lot of guys
out.
gonna get damaged there with some checkup issues.
Yeah, everybody's checking up. They're so discombobulated, like an Eminem song. Is right now they are all trying to get sorted out here and seeing if they can try and get down pit road here.
How many laps to go? Ooh. So, when we go back, and this is a tough question. This is a tough thing here. So we're coming. Obviously, pit road going to be open. There's quite a few cars, especially with the way things slowing down happen, which does happen sometimes. These guys are going to pit right here. Obviously, they're going to repair. They're going to fill everything up. Well, here's where all this gets very interesting. And I think it could add a very new element to this race depending on how it goes. And again, this is all assuming it goes green. Keep in mind, they get 20 laps on fuel. Well, when we go back to green, it's 45 to go as these guys cross the line. It will be 44 to go when we return to green flag racing. If these guys save 2 laps of fuel along the first run and along the back half of the second run, which is very doable on presets, if you commit to it, you can make this on just one more stop instead of having to make a second one late in the race. Look for guys to possibly be fuel saving when we go back to green here. And to be honest too, the other thing that would help as well is if these guys go straight to 4th gear under this caution.
Yeah, as well. Gonna have Juice going here. I think this is our second manual of the day, so
yes.
Yeah, it should be interesting here as we're hearing 24 is going to take the inside, but the 11 is going to lead the outside here. So front row is going to be the 88 and the 11. RTSB Killer having a very good run here. Start out the playoff. Good run for him.
This is going to be interesting.
Water. But right now, looks like a very interesting battle up front all race long, but here we go. 88 on the inside, 11 on the outside. 88's got help from the 24, 11's got help from the 17. Here we go, green flag. Oh, the 11 with a good restart. Oh, this is going to be interesting heading in the 1. They're going to be side by side for the lead. Oh, but 88's got the advantage on the bottom. Will he clear the 11? Barely. Yes, he will. So the 88's back to the lead, but here comes, 11 and 24 door banging. Down the back straightaway, the 3 and 4. 11 goes high. 6 goes high as well. Only 2 cars on the high side. Out of turn number 4. 88 out front, 24 in second, 2 of Camo Parent in third here, Kevin.
Absolutely, and of course, again, we're going to see these guys spread out. I have to wonder about that fuel situation, and I know oh, trouble! Somebody up in the wall, too.
Yeah, 11 got into the wall, caution at the line because that wrecked the 51 of Horatio. So we're going to have another caution here.
And I believe this might knock fuel out of the window. We'll see. It'll be very borderline.
It will, because, let's see, they technically just ran 2 laps now. They're going to pit, so that's about a 4-lap window.
Might be, I'm thinking what it'll end up being, and you can save this probably most of it under the caution. Obviously, they'll pit with 41 laps to go. When we go green, it'll be 40. They might be just a little bit short on fuel, and again, that's all assuming we go green all the way, which I personally don't see happening. A lot's on the line this race, so most of this field has been pretty close together the entire race, and when you get that, sometimes not by anybody's doing, but you get hard racing, you get a little bit of contact, and sometimes with contact comes cautions, and I feel like we'll see probably at least a couple more of these. This is only our 3rd run of the night. But I feel like we'll see at least 1, maybe 2 more cautions. If we don't, though, it would be a very, very minimal fuel mileage game. Again, pitting with 41 to go, they get 20 on fuel. Obviously, they would have to pit 1 more time, regardless of what happens right here. But there will be a very, very minimal amount of fuel saving, which you could probably do under the pace lap coming out of the pits, Alex.
Yeah, these cars are on pit road here. 88 exiting. Let's see, can he beat the 24 off? That's a oh, 2 tire stop from the 8.
Interesting.
8 with some strategy.
I like that.
Wow, 2 tire stop from the 8 of Hunter Boy. And now Hunter Boy is going to go to the lead here. As Juice Cone's going to happen here on the back straightaway.
Indeed, I like this by the we've known him to be a guy that isn't afraid of these types of calls. We didn't run too many laps there, taking the right sides. I really like that. He's somebody that's in the playoffs and needs points. Haven't really talked about him a whole lot today other than when he was going through the grass during stage 2, but he's found his way up here now. Let's see if he can hold on to it. I really like this call. It's a good gamble. It's not a huge gamble, but it's a good one to get track position.
Let's see. Because of him taking 2, it's now going to intrigue a lot of people here. 8 car on 2 tires on the inside. Outside goes to the 14 of Noggin Jr. So even the 14 has found his way up to the front here on the shoe cone. But here we go to the box. Green flag. 8 car does not get a good restart. 14's got the advantage crossing the line. Let's see, 40 to go. Here we go through 1 and 2. Oh, 8 car gets tight. Oh, they're still banging a little bit. On to turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Oh, so what will these cars do? They're going to push. They're going to push like it's a restrictor plate in the 3 and 4. 24 on the bottom, 14 on the top, 88 hits the apron, he slides up into the 17. They all keep it straight here, down through the tri-oval. 8 car up front, and he's going to see if he can hold off for the lead, but 24 is going to go to the inside. Battle for the lead. 24 on the inside, 8 on the outside. Can the 8 car get the run here out of turn number 2? 24 on the bottom, getting help from the 17. 8 on the top, 3 wide for 3rd place. Oh boy. 2, 3, and 4. Let's see what happens. 8 car still chugging on the outside, but I think the 24 is going to get clear here. Yes, he will. 24 to the front here, Kevin.
Indeed, we've seen this tonight. Now he's going to have to try to hold on to this. I think he'll be able to. Again, the key to this track, especially if you get into the run, is just hold the bottom. Obviously, I mean, you don't do it on the straightaway, but through the corner, you don't want to let anybody get underneath your quarter panel. That's how you lose spots. If you can do that, you're going to have a pretty successful night. Obviously, this 24 has a lot of speed. We've seen it. He was up contending for the Stage 2 victory. We've seen him up here in Stage 1. We've seen he's been able to pass cars. We've seen him, though, make small mistakes that really cost him. He has to avoid that this final stage. He has the track position. Now he's got to keep it, and he's doing all this at the right time in the final stage of the race and in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's right now that 24 up front. 17, a Ford Tough in that 17, running pretty good right behind him. 36 laps remaining in this race. 6 a B13 in third. 88's trying to make his way. 17 slides up the racetrack. That's going to bring the 6 to the outside, but he's going to back off. Here comes the 88 to the inside of him. That's the battle for third place right there between the 88 and the 6. But here we go through 3 and 4. Here comes the 22. It's Taz. Haven't talked about him all night, but he's currently in that 5th spot chugging along here, Kevin.
Indeed, unfortunately for the 22, the only time we were able to mention him was when he got a warning from race control a little bit earlier on. But he's made that 22 fast late in the going here, doing a great job running a very solid P5 at the moment. I'll be interested to see if he can maybe work that car just a few spots better up towards the front. But right now, the 6 in a huge battle right now. And again, this is a playoff points battle as well. It looks like for now he will lose out. We'll see if he can go get this back.
It's going to be interesting here. It's the 24 up front. Let's go deep into this field here. Got the 2 and the 6 and 22. They are battling hard for that 4th spot. That's allowing the 88, the 17, the 24 to kind of pull away a little bit. So we might have a battle for the lead. 17 to the inside of the 24 through 3 and 4. Oh, 24 just had a great entry on the outside and just bolts past the 17. Keeps that lead right there. But back to the battle here between 22, the 6, and the 2. That gets settled out. The 2 is going to get the P4. 8
Car on the wall.
Going to go to P5. Oh, it's 22. That was the 22 in the wall. 22's not having a good run. It's 17 to the inside of 24 to the lead. Let's see. Oh, 24 is going to slide up. Can the 17 clear? Yes, 17 to the point. Oh, but here comes the 88. 88 to the inside of 17 through 1. It's getting interesting, folks. 3-car battle for the lead. 24 helping the 88. 17 getting a little bit of a runoff exit. Let's see what the 22 can do. Or 24 can do. 17 still stuck on that outside. He's hanging on very well. Rolling the outside. Here we go out of turn number 4. They are still side by side out of turn number 4. This is an interesting battle here, Harvick. 17 is holding his ground currently on the outside. And now the 88 is going to get by. So 88 to the lead.
Indeed, and we kind of saw that, ironically enough, with the 88 and the 6 earlier in the race. I think it was earlier in Stage 2. Again, we saw the 88 was trying to pass for the lead, but he just could not clear. He had the advantage, it was obvious, but he could not get clear. The 6 early on in the race did such a good job of running that outside, keeping speed and side drafting. He wasn't going to be able, I don't think, to get the lead back unless one of them made a mistake, but he was able to hold on and keep the 88 from clearing, and the 17 did the same thing right there. Again, the side draft when you're up, and that outside line is your only weapon. It's the only thing you can do. It's all you have to use. You have to do the best, and a lot of these guys have done an amazing job at doing that and utilizing every bit of that they can while they have it at their disposal. Eventually, you're going to lose out to it, but you got to try to hold on to everything you can, especially in that situation and especially in the playoffs.
Yes, that 24 is now taking back the lead from the 88. 17 still battling, but since they were battling pretty hard for that lead, we got more cars in the mix now. You got the 14 of Noggin Jr. here in the mix in 4th place. You got the 6 of B13 in the mix in 5th. It's going to be interesting. The 22 behind the 51. You also got some more cars up here, like we'll try to get to the 2. the 2 of Camo Parrot, as well as the 8 of Hunter Boy. This has got to be a W for the 8 of Hunter Boy. 8 of Hunter Boy not having the race that he wanted, was running in top 10 or out of the top 10, and now, so 2 tires, he's running up here in 6th place. That's got to be a W for him, Kevin.
Absolutely. Even though he wasn't able to hold on to the lead for a while there, he was. And by the way, keep in mind as well. Actually, never mind. Sorry. No. Yeah. So he wasn't able to hold on to the lead. He actually had a lot of trouble launching off the restart. But eventually, obviously, while short term, he kind of free fell just a little bit through the field. He was able to settle in, like you said, to that 6th position, and that's a huge gain, huge track position. Might not be the lead that he initially had, but track position, nonetheless, in whatever spot equals a point. So that's also the points that he was able to gain. Again, if he can just hold on to this, even for the rest of the race, and just be smooth, and as long as everything goes green, and he can be smooth getting on pit road. And speaking of pitting, that pit window opens up in about 6 laps, as we have 26 laps to go here at Chicago. If the 8 can just be smooth, hit his marks on pit entry, get through nice and clean, he can come out of here with a very solid top 10. Maybe if somebody in front of him makes a mistake, a top 5, which is a spot that he hasn't really been able to get to most of the race up until he made that 2-tire call. And honestly, if he's able to walk away with that type of finish and a really solid points day, he has to put it all into that pit strategy.
Oh, 17 and 24 made contact. And now the 17 is around, I think. Yes, he is around. In the grass, mowing grass. That's going to be a caution with 24 to go. Kevin, we got fuel strategy.
Well, hold on. It's still being determined whether, we'll see, or not. We're getting the caution. I think it's being discussed whether or not the 24 or the 17 or somebody may get a potential warning or something from race officials. We'll see. Well, no, we are still green. Let's see. Okay, there we go.
We're hearing caution at the line. The officials were huddling up like a movie scene, whispering to each other, you know, doing that, you know, doing all that, you know, trying to discover caution. Now it will be, it's I think about 23 to go, 22 to go here. So they're going to go green with 21. So they're going to be basically 1 lap short, maybe more, because you do lose fuel when you go green through 1 and 2. So it's going to be interesting.
The fact as well, Alex, too, that again, yes, we go green with 21 to go, but these guys, it's all manual here, so they pit with 22 laps to go, and they still have to pace around back to green. So yeah, they'll probably be about 2 laps short.
This is going to be interesting, folks. Fuel strategy could play a factor.
And I said it was out the window earlier. Who was I?
Oh, what are you, Larry McReynolds? Dollar Tree Larry McReynolds, by the way. You know, it was like I was discussing earlier. If we can Photoshop your face to that Larry McReynolds meme where he takes a cheese grater to the tire and just posts that on Twitter, I think that would be absolute gold right there.
That would be kind of funny, but not happening. No.
Oh, I'll find a way to make it happen.
No. Either way, back to what's actually going on. All cheese graters aside, these guys on pit road putting on 4 tires and filling the cars up. Oh boy!
Oh, that was a close race off pit road. I'm gonna go back through the stream and see who won that. Hold on, let's look at the replay. I actually have a replay because my Twitch is delayed. So they're gonna choose cone here. I'm suspecting that 88 and the 24 is I'm doing the official review. Oh no, 24 got him. I got it on. It's on stream. I just went through, did the instant replay. 24 got him. Oh. This might hold up the field. This is going to give them an extra lap of fuel, Kevin.
Indeed it will. Ironically enough, scoring discrepancy could make all the difference here. We'll have to see. Maybe not. We're going to go. We'll wait to see what if we go or not. So even though obviously we had the video here, they've gone ahead and given the 88 the credit for winning the race off of pit road, and he will assume the lead. He will have control of the restart when we go green. And again, fuel being a bit of a concern. Obviously, this helps those guys a little bit, save a little bit extra fuel. It's going to be borderline. This is going to be interesting to see who decides to save fuel. Could they potentially save enough under this caution, Alex, especially with the added pace lap, or will they still have to save under green? If so, the fun part is going to be when do you decide to save that fuel, and it could make this race all the more interesting, and we might see a few more comers and goers in this thing before it's over.
Yes, now we're going to go green with 19 laps remaining. Who saved
20.
the fuel under the... Or, no. Colin said we're going to go green with 21 last time, so... Here we go. 80 on the inside, 6 on the outside. Here we go. Green flag. 19 remaining. Here's Chicago. 20. You told me you were going green with 21, and then y'all took an extra. Okay, well, 20 to go here. I'm getting fed the wrong darn information.
I was just guessing. I got it right.
24 to the inside, 88. That's the battle for the lead. Looks like nobody's doing much saving. I'll tell you that much. Kevin, nobody looks like they're saving right now. 88's going to go second. 24 to the lead. It's going to be interesting here. 6 to the inside, the 14. That's the battle for third. Out of turn number 2. 24. He's going to have to block. I don't know. He's not saving from the lead right now because that's where you use most of the fuel. You have no draft. 24 to the outside. 6 cars to the outside of the 88. All 88 hit the apron, and the 6 is going to clear. That's got to be the first move I've seen on the outside.
Yeah, I was about to say, we haven't seen that happen yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen that happen. So the 6 to P2 is right now, Kevin. I don't know who's saving, but it looks like we don't have very many who's saving right now.
Well, keep in mind, the one thing here, and if you're trying to save fuel, you do not want to be the leader. As the 6 tries to make a move here, can he complete it?
Yep. Yep, he's going to complete that move for the lead. It's going to be interesting here because if I assume right, even if you did save, we went green with 20. You do lose a lap somewhere. And that's usually either middle of 1 and 2 or off of 2. So here's how it works. If you change fuel off of 2, you're sputtering in 3 and 4. If you change fuel at least halfway down the back straightaway, you're sputtering exit of 4. And if you save enough to where you change in 3, going into 3, you're basically good from there. Okay? That's the basics. Now, who's saving and who's not, I do not know, as the 8 car just got flapjacked right into the wall. There, he is falling way to the back now. But right now, it looks like a possible fuel mileage here, race to the win, and right now, 14 going for the lead here, Kevin.
And you gotta wonder, as these guys continue to drop, obviously, we gotta wonder, maybe are they dropping like this on purpose to try to save, or are they just genuinely making mistakes? You also have to wonder, I see a little bit of a split in the pack as well, if you look, Alex. There's a slight split in this kind of the lead pack, and there's actually, am I seeing a second one as well? I don't know. I can't tell with the camera I have, but either way, these packs are starting to split up, and I gotta wonder, maybe are they splitting due to fuel saving, or is that just genuine pace? We've seen it happen in the other 2 stages, but maybe not this quick. I'd have to think somewhere throughout this field, there's at least some guys trying to save this. And look, I don't think it's a ton of laps that you have to save. It may be a lap and a half, 2 laps at most. Now on presets, it takes a little bit longer to save it, but you can kind of help your situation by part throttling and draft or whatever you have to do. It's not impossible. It's definitely very doable. You don't have to do it right off the bat either. So I guess the other question, Alex, and I'll ask you this: when is the best time, if this goes green? When is the best time to save that fuel?
I would say, it depends. Right now, like I said, if you lose that fuel, right there, and Chicagoland can really be a track where you also can lose fuel throughout the run because you can run wide open in 1 and 2 for a certain amount of laps. So, you can run wide open at some points. As we're on board with the 2, as he's just letting the whole pack by. I think 2 car might be one of the ones saving right now. But, 22 with a nice save there. Good save by the 22, but if I was saving, I would save right now. You want to save enough to where you can at least sputter to the line, or you can just, try and save all of it now, and then when you go full throttle and, try and push, you can lose fuel but still make it to the point where you can make it to the line. It's very tough here to save, because, you got that tri-oval, and that's where the part is going to work, is that tri-oval. The shorter around the racetrack, the more fuel you're going to save, especially fuel saving, and that's all the best advice I can give you.
Now, here's what I'm noticing now, Alex, as we get further into this run, a few things here. I got a little bit of document here. First of all, you see a couple of your leaders driving away a little bit. What that tells me is the guys are backing the pace down. What's that mean? Fuel saving. I can also tell you guys are fuel saving because a couple laps ago, I went on board with the 6 car for about a lap. And I can tell you, especially through, I think it was 1 and 2, I don't remember what corner it was now, he was well off the throttle, probably definitely longer than you have to be here. Obviously, once you get into a run, you have to let off at least a little bit, but he was off the throttle for a good way through the corner, just kind of using the draft to pull him along. But he was definitely letting off probably a little bit more even in both corners than you have to. So that tells me he's trying to back that pace down just a little bit, trying to save fuel as it seems a lot of these guys are. So we see this field begin to spread out, and they are definitely doing that. The fuel saving is not going to kick in. I think if you're going to see guys really start to hardcore save, it's probably going to be at this point in the race. And, do you also, Alex, is it worth it to gamble? Obviously, maybe if you're a non-playoff driver, I would say maybe it's less of a debate. But if you're somebody like, let's say the 8 car, who's had a rough race, he got his track position there, and then obviously I think the caution that we ended up getting kind of hurt him a little bit.
14 pitting.
Oh,
14 pitting.
This is interesting. He's not confident in his ability to save, so he figured, you know what? I can't save this. I'm gonna go down pit road, get 4 tires, and or some tires or something, and we're gonna top this thing off and see what we can get out of it. And I like that. If you know you can't make it, pit as early as you can. That way, you at least have some opportunity to go get something back.
Yeah, I just got an interesting message from Xbox. But if 14 coming in, that's gonna hurt the 6 because the 6 had draft. The 6 had somebody in front that can help him save that fuel just a little bit. Now he's all by himself. He has no draft. He's basically the leader. He's gonna have to hardcore save here. He's gonna have to let off a little bit more now. He's not gonna have as much help as what the 24 has right now behind that 17. But, it's just how it rolls. 14 thought he couldn't make it. He went down pit road, top off, and see, if any of these cars run out of gas or pit. I think the 14 is going to be on top of it here, Kevin.
Indeed, and I'm riding on board with the 6 now, and I'm trying to listen to his throttle trace now compared to what it was when he was indeed behind that 14 getting the draft. He is still off the throttle quite a bit. I'm also noticing too the other thing he's off quite a bit right there. The other thing I'm noticing too is even when he's back on the throttle through the corner, he's not all the way on the throttle. He's kind of partially throttling, which still helps your fuel mileage a little bit. Instead of just stamping it to the floor, kind of gradually easing back onto that throttle. That while it's still not quite as effective as completely being off, it is helping save fuel. And in the situation that he's in right now, that's the best he can do. Is I believe I just heard 4 to go. It's crunch
4 to
time.
go. It's crunch time. Who saved enough? It's going to be the question. Also, no more cautions. That's going to be huge. Oh, here we go. Out of turn number 4. We're going to be coming to 3 to go here. Who's going to win the race? Who can make it and who just hit the number? See, 6 car. You got also 17 and 24 back there as well. You cannot forget about them. You know, they've been working together to save. You also have other cars behind them. Like the 88, I think, is also back there. The 9 and the 51 are with the 88 as well. And they're just a little bit behind this group with the 24 to 17. So they're in the middle of saving gas as well as we're coming to 2 to go here. This is going to be interesting.
Now, I will say this, as we're hearing the 24 is very concerned about their fuel mileage. It makes me wonder maybe about the 6. But the one thing that the 6 does have, even though he doesn't have the draft, he has a comfortable gap. I think if he were to start sputtering on fuel coming out of turn 4, I think if he plays his cards right, I actually think he could still coast or sputter to the line and still have enough of a gap to get this. He's going to take the white flag this time. Alex, can he make it back around for 1.5 more miles?
Well, white flags presented by Circle B Diecast. Here, 6 of B13. What can he do? Did he hit the number correctly? Did he save enough? Out of turn number 2. Oh, he's looking fine right now, I think. Do 3 and 4, one final time. I think they're running out behind him. He's good. Out of turn number 4, he hit the fuel correctly, and he's gonna win at Chicagoland. 4 tough in second, and the 24 of Highside Hobie is gonna round out your top 3. As I think that was a thrilling fuel saver there. 6 of B13. He's gonna come out with the W here today in the first playoff race of this season.
Great job by the 6 as well. Again, kind of, I would say for him, especially with the 14 headed down pit road, he lost his draft help. Now, he did a good job fuel saving while in draft too, and I think that's definitely a large part, but he spent probably 6 or 7 laps without draft and did an amazing job maintaining a gap as well as still saving that fuel, and I think that is what won him the race today. He had a fast car, but he was able to play his cards right, manage the gap, and just pedal the car. Do exactly what he needed to do to get a win and open up the playoffs with a victory and a very good points day.
Yeah, he was the regular season champion. Getting that win is going to help him out just a little bit more. As we're going to interview top 3 here soon. We got to get the 6 and the 17 in here. Also, 1-2 for Roush, by the way. That's also a pretty impressive thing right there.
It is.
As their seconds popped in. And there's first is now. We're going to go ahead and go to your third place finisher, Highside Hobie, who finished 3rd here in today's race. Highside, you got a copy there, buddy?
Yep, I got a copy.
What a race here tonight. Good battle. Came down to the fuel strategy at the end here. And you know what? You finished 3rd. What more did you need happen there at the end to see if you can get a chance at the win here today?
I don't know, honestly. I mean, I had one of the fastest cars all night, and it was nice to not really have, some bad luck in that first part of the race. I mean, my fastest lap was a 30.3. Had the fastest lap of the race, and my car was moving, my car was dialed. I just didn't have the correct drafting at the end of the race to really be able to save the fuel and actually put up a fight with the 6. But we got stage points both stages, and we finished top 5. So that really helps us with moving back up into the top 4 in the standings.
Yeah.
Especially moving into Michigan next week.
Yeah, Michigan next week. It's I call that the Gist of My Fist charity racing event because usually he gets the win there always. But heading in these playoffs, you had a tight battle with the six, heading into the playoffs, and now you're in the playoffs, and you're gonna have to go into that mindset. What is the mindset you're gonna have to go in to activate and start getting some wins here? Because you only have one win this season, I think, and you gotta start picking it up.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily have to get wins. If I can continue to rattle off stage points and getting top fives, I'll be in a good position to go back into my seventh Final Four. So I don't necessarily need to be the fastest car on track. You just need to be the most consistent. So it'd be nice to get wins, but they're not necessarily needed. We have a lot of fast guys, and I haven't had the best luck. Obviously, the car's been able to lead a lot of the season, just hasn't been able to lead at the correct times, and it happens. Call me Denny Hamlin or Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, is anything you want to shout out here before we go to second place?
Same thing as always, Circle B. You get free shipping on anything over $20. Use code HIGHSIDE. And then with Raise Energy, it's 15% off any order with the code ALOHSRO. And as always, shout out to you and Harv for doing a great job. And our Twitter page, also almost getting to 500 followers. Like I said, if we can get to our Twitter page to 500 or 1,000 followers by the end of the season, we will be doing a Diecast giveaway. So shout out to everyone that's been following us on our social medias.
Yeah, it's a good run here tonight for the third place finisher, 24 Highside Hobie. Good run. As Harvick, you're with our second place finisher and a non-playoff driver in second here tonight, the 17 of Forza.
Indeed, but I'll say this, I'm
Take a
very
shower.
excited to talk to old Ford. I haven't gotten a chance to talk to him in a while. Ford, you got me? Man, you had an amazing car tonight. I've seen you have a really good car at a couple other tracks. I think Auto Club maybe comes to mind, and I think one of the other I can't remember what other track it was. I know you had a really strong car somewhere else too. But you come in here tonight and you're just top five the entire race. Top five, stage one, around it. Really, for a lot of the back half of the race, mostly top three. You had a lot of speed, got the chance to lead quite a few laps. Walk me through your race. I know you kind of got up into the wall at one point, I think, or something along the lines. I know you got caught up in a smaller incident. Walk me through your race, man. How was it? How was the car?
I just gotta interrupt real quick. I'm checking the audio. He does not have his audio included. I just gotta interrupt real quick. I'm checking the audio. Ford, you gotta include your audio here. Yeah, I'm trying to get back into my Twitch because I had to restart my Twitch, and I just try and listen to his audio, and I hear nothing.
Hey, it happens. But no, obviously Ford, I do have to ask as well. We coming down to the race in there. When I would say it was the first, I think it was the first caution came out in stage three. It looked like it was going to be fuel saved. Then we got one very shortly after, and it went away. Then with I think about 24, 23 to go, we get another caution, and yet fuel saving comes back into play. I guess. Do you feel like the final caution that we got? Do you feel like it more hurt you or helped you? Obviously, you had a lot of raw speed in the car, but fuel saving came into play late in the going.
To be honest with you, I think it helped me because I knew that I could get back up to the front with the speed that I had in the car. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to save enough if, that were the case, if that caution had to come out. But, I think everybody else would have been in that same situation. But I do think it helped us because we got caught back up to the field. And, yeah, so we would definitely had some struggles if that hadn't happened. But thankfully it did, and I was able to hold off the 24 as we ran out of fuel. Coming out of four. But yeah, it was a good day. Like I said, congratulations to Austin on his win.
Oh, Kevin.
Sorry about that. No, and then of course my final question for you is of course any shout outs, thank yous. Obviously very solid run for you. A ton of speed in that 17. Of course, being able to bring home the fuel mileage as well, kind of manage the pace, back it off a little bit when it counted, and a little bit of interesting way to finish the race as well, like you mentioned, kind of having to fight off the 24 without any gas in the car towards the end there. Any shout outs, thank yous you'd like to give for very solid P2?
Definitely want to give y'all a shout out for doing everything you do, helping us get this broadcast out. I want to give a shout out to Circle B and Raise Energy.
Okay, absolutely, man, and again, thank you. I'm very happy to see you in here. I haven't gotten a chance to talk to you probably since the tournament last year, maybe a little bit after that, but congratulations on the P2. It's awesome to see you have a really solid run. Obviously, not a playoff driver, but still, nonetheless, a lot to race for, trying to get those checkered flags, and you came about as close to it as you could tonight, so congratulations, and again, great job. Absolutely. Alex, you have our playoff race-winning driver. Wait, yeah, that made sense. Anyway, you got our winner.
Okay, well, Kevin is struggling the English properly. B13, you got a copy?
I got you.
What a win, man. You come in here, you win the regular season championship. You come in here, started on pole, had one of the faster cars, came down the fuel saving. Just tell us how hard you need the fuel save there at the end.
Well, when that 14 car came up behind, I was watching the fuel, and I was starting off the bat. I was about a half a lap short, a little more than a half a lap. And the 14 was coming in pretty hot, and I figured I might as well just not fight it. I'll let him get in front of me. I'll draft off of him. Hopefully save enough fuel, and then maybe I'll be able to race him, the last couple of laps, see if I can get back in front of him. But, he pulled off, and I was going to be out of fuel, like going through 3 and 4. And I was able to just save enough. I started sputtering coming out of 4. So it was a close call, but I was kind of confident that I would do all right. And also having that big of a lead really helped because I was able to kind of not drive the car as hard as I would want to otherwise. So it all worked out.
Yeah, it all worked out. What a good, solid run. Just tell us the mindset. You won that regular season title. You won this title 2 seasons ago, and then you've been winning this season. So tell us how you gonna keep that up in the playoffs because it's crunch time, man. You gotta go out there. You're trying to win your second championship.
Sorry, Eric. Could you repeat that?
Okay, let me repeat that again. You won the title 2 seasons ago. You won the regular season championship this year. You're having a good season. You start out with this win. Tell us the mindset you're going to go through with the rest of these playoffs here.
For sure, absolutely. I think kind of what it's going to boil down to is just trying to get as much practice at our upcoming tracks as I can. Try to really dial in those setups so I'm comfortable with the car, throughout the whole race. And just, try to do my best to just keep a fast car and keep finishing up front. It's not obviously not easy here. We got a lot of good drivers, and we got a good mix of interesting tracks coming up. So it's going to be tough. Don't get me wrong. And I won the regular season championship last year, and it hurt not winning the whole thing again. So I'm gonna try my best to see what we can get done, but I won't make any guarantees because you can never do that.
Yeah, and anything you want to shout out here before we end the stream?
Shout out to you, Aaron, and K Harvick fan as always. We love the awesome broadcasts you put on. I really appreciate it. It's great to be able to watch the things that happened that you can't see, when you're driving. So it's always great to go back and look at that stuff. And shout out to our sponsors, Circle B and Raise Energy. We appreciate their contributions. Shout out to everyone else. I think tonight was a pretty good race. Stayed fairly clean. There were a few incidents, but for the most part, it's pretty hard and tough racing there. I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, it was a very good run here tonight. Your winner here at Chicagoland B13 with a huge W here to begin the playoffs. Before we're gonna head off for tonight. It was a good race all around. Great racing tonight here at Chicagoland, producing another great finish and another fuel mileage win. That's what Chicagoland's been producing. I wish this wasn't probably the final time we raced here, though, because the next game we're probably not going to get Chicagoland, which is a sad face. Can we all get sad faces here? Because Chicagoland has been one of our better tracks here in this league, and now this is probably going to be the last time we're going to race on it. So, sadly, that is a sad face right there. But thank you to everybody who tuned in. Thank you to everybody watching. We'll see you guys Tuesday for the On the High Side playoff race number 2 at Michigan. I'm Aaron Just Cause. That was K Harvick fan. We'll see ya Tuesday.